I met a few people in Alcoholics Anonymous, oh, 70s, 80s, and 90s, because my dad was in AA before, long before I was. And he used to tell me about some of the guys when I needed to go to AA and help myself. And there's a handful of people that really know where you're at and how to help you. I had a guy I met, an old timer, and there was a few of them that were very good, but one particular one that I didn't even like. And this man lived on the streets for years. He was a good guy, and he wasn't much of a conversationist first coming around. He would ask you how you're doing and, you know, how's work going, and that was about it. He did not elaborate on anything. And I found out actually from him, he told me once, and he used to tell me after a couple of months, my money's on you, Larry. My money's on you. You can do it. I don't know why I was standoffish. I was angry. I was angry for months. I didn't have much to say. It was my family didn't come with me to support me. Nobody came with me to support me, and that's the way I wanted it. There used to be people who would come to meetings with their kids or their mother, or other people would come with their spouse to support them. This guy said to me, my money's on you, and said it a few times. And the reason he said it, he's told me that you were angry. You were so angry, and you kept coming here anyways. You were angry. You were really confused. You had questions. How am I going to run my business? I can't do this anymore. I'm going to lose all my friends. I mean, all the typical questions you ask when you're newly sober. And he just kind of stayed away from me and helped me piecemeal, little bit at a time. And his words of wisdom were, they hit home. I understood where he was coming from. And this guy lived on the streets, so he knew where I was coming from. Later on, he had told me, this might have been a year, 2 years later, um, he had mentioned to me this time, being new, he said, you were down and out. He said, a lot of people, they come in here, they're not ready. You were ready. It was on your face, it was the way you talked, it was your anger. You didn't want to do anything, you didn't want to be bothered. Those are the kind of people I watch because he's been here for so long. He said that he doesn't bother with people that come in the door and, yeah, I think I'm going to quit drinking and what do I have to do? And you tell him what he has to do and or her, and they don't do it. And they come once in a while. They don't bother with them. That was the old days. Today, I've managed to put a lot of time in sobriety and learn a lot about me. This guy taught me how to live a good, solid, happy life. That's what I want to do for people here, is teach them how to do that. It's going to take a little while to gain peace and contentment. What I mean by that is you can take, today we have these miraculous drugs. You can take naltrexone, go to a therapist, go to a counselor, or a clinical psychologist, whatever. There's all kinds of avenues and different meetings that you can go to, that are not AA. And some of them work, some of them don't. Actually, I want to change that. They all work. It's the people that don't work. The people aren't desperate enough. to do this because it's life changing and it's very hard to do. Alcoholics Anonymous, since they started in 1935, 34, 35, somewhere around there, success rate is somewhere between 4 and 7% of people stay sober for life. That's not much. And the reason that is because people will come to test the waters, see if it's something they want, and they might stick it out for a while and then they leave. They're not really in it wholeheartedly. They think they are, but they're really not ready. And this man was able to see that in me. He said, "You've been beaten to a pulp." He said, "I know where you're at." And he worked with me. And he really didn't even talk to me for a couple of months. He'd ask me how I was doing. He didn't slap me on the shoulder. He didn't hug me. He didn't want to hold my hand and say prayers. He didn't want any of that, which is what I like. This is why I eventually leaned towards him. He was the real McCoy. Those kind of people are far and few between today. There's a handful of them out there and they get overwhelmed with people. And that's why these guys, these old timers, are standoffish. You might seem what a jerk, like I did. That's why they're that way, because everybody will gravitate to them and they just can't extend themselves out that much. That is why I do that sometimes when I go to meetings and I'll turn them on to somebody else that's a couple of years sober, and I don't want to do that anymore. I now help the people that are 30, 40, 50 that have been battling this for a long time and they really don't know how to get out of it. They don't want to go to the AA, they don't want to go to NA, they don't want to do much of anything except read or find someone like me they can talk to. And that is exactly what I'm proposing to do. If you are having trouble, you can't get this, you don't want to go to AA. I understand. When I was young, that's all we had. There was nothing else. It was AA or struggle on doing it yourself, and that just didn't work. Leave me a message and subscribe and see what we can do for you. On Sundays, I put a video out. Having coffee with Larry on Sunday morning. Looking forward to talking to you. Stay sober. Thank you. Larry McDonald, Celebrating Sobriety.